Lesson 5-8, multiplying fractions. When you multiply fractions, you're going to be multiplying the numerators times the numerator and then the denominators times the denominators. And then at the end, you're going to reduce the fraction when necessary. Now, you could reduce first by looking diagonal and dividing out common factors in the numerator and denominator and then multiplying, but that is totally up to you how you'd want to do that. So let's take a look at our first example. It says Star Middle School has designed a new flag to represent its sports teams. It is half blue and half white. It has stars on 2/5 of the blue section. What fraction of the whole flag has stars? So if we're taking the blue section, which is half the flag, and of the half, 2/5 of that section has stars on it. So what fraction of the whole flag has stars? Here, if you multiply straight across, you can get 2/10, but I can reduce that by 2/2, and you get 1/5. So 1/5 of the flag has stars. Now you could have also reduced it by dividing 2 diagonal out of the numerator and denominator, and then multiply it across and got 1 times 1 is 1, 1 times 5 is 5, and still got 1/5. Next, multiply these fractions. Here I'm going to look diagonal. There's nothing in common in the numerator and denominator, so -5 times -1 is 5. 8 times 4 is 32. There's no common factor between the two, so our answer is 5/32. Next, multiply straight across. -4 times 2 is -8. 5 times 3 is 15. No common factors, so it's -8/15. Here I have a whole number, but treat this as 7/1 times 3/10, which is going to give us 21/10. I don't have any common factors. I would leave it as 21/10, or if you want to put it as a mixed number, this would be 2 1/10. Same thing with this one. This is really -8/1. Now for this one, I'm actually going to simplify first. I know I can divide at 8 here and get -1. Divide at 8 here and get +2. And now if I multiply across, -1 times -5 is 5. 1 times 2 is 2. So my answer would be 5/2 or 2 1/2. Next, multiply these. So this would be 7/16. I cannot reduce it, so that would stay as my answer. Next, -3 times -2 is +6/64. And I can divide this by 2/2, and this is going to give us 3/32, and that would be our simplified answer. Next, I'm going to multiply or divide diagonally. So I can divide a 7 here and get 1, divide a 7 here and get 3. In the other direction, I can divide a 2 here and get 1, divide a 2 here and I get 4. So I really have -1/4 times 1/3, which is equal to -1/12. Now, if that's a little bit harder for you, then you can just multiply across, and that would give us a -14/168. And then if you divide that by 14/14, you would still get -1/12. Next, here if I multiply straight across, I get a +15/48. I know their common factor is 3, so if I divide everything by 3 in the top and bottom, I'm left with 5/16, and that would be my simplified answer. Now again, I could have done this, divided 3 here and got 1, divided 3 here and got 2, and still got +5/16. Next, do some more multiplication. Here, I'm going to go diagonal, divide a 4 here and get 1, divide a 4 here and get 2, and I'm left with a -3/10. Next, I can divide up 8 here, divide at 8 here, and I get 3. 3 times 3 is 9. 9 divided by 1 is still 9. Next, I divide a 3 here, divide a 3 here, gives me -10. -10 times -2 is +20. And this last one here, 5 times 13 is 65 over 8. No common factors, so I can keep it as 65/8, or I can write this as 8 1/8, because that would give us 65/8. Next, this one's the same, or we are still multiplying, but it looks a little bit differently. So it says find 3/5 of 70. Now in math, when you see of, so 3/5 of 70, that means we're multiplying. So this would be 3/5 times 70 over 1. Here I can divide 5 here, divide 5 here, and this is going to give us 24. Actually, not 24, it would be 14. Then I have 3 times 14, which will give us 42. So 3/5 of 70 would be 42. 1/4 of $5, which really means I'm doing 5 divided by 4. So if I were to work this all out, 4 goes into 5 one time, subtract, you get 10. 4 goes into 10 2 times, that's 8, subtract, and you get 20. 4 goes into 20 5 times, and you get $1.25. Or you can think of it as 1 1/4 of a dollar. Next, find 4/5 of 50. So for this one, I would divide 5 here, divide a 5 here. 4 times 10 is 40. This next one, 5/6 of -30. So divide a 6 here, divide a 6 here, and you get -5. 5 times -5 is -25. And our last ones, here we want to evaluate x times y times z when x is -5/6 times y is 4/5 times z is -6/7. Now for this one, the 6 is divide out, and I'm left with a -1 on top here. This 5 and this 5 divide out, so I'm left with a -1 and a 1 here. So now I have -1 times 4 times -1, which gives us 4. The denominator of 1 times 7 is just 7, so we have 4/7. And our last one, at the mineral show 2/7 of 35 minerals are unpolished gemstones. How many minerals are unpolished gemstones? So I'm going to divide a 7 here and divide a 7 here and get 5. 2 times 5 is 10, so 10 gemstones. So that is our lesson on multiplying fractions.